My name is Natalie Brooks. I am 25 years old. I work as a waitress at a small diner in our town. I wear a blue dress, a white apron, and comfy shoes. I carry trays. I pour tea and coffee. I smile even when my feet hurt. People see my uniform and think they know me. They think my life is small. They think I do not dream. But I do. My sister's name is Vanessa. She is 3 years older than me. In our parents' eyes, she is the shining star. She just finished a big, fancy MBA program. She is smart, yes. She works hard, yes. She also likes to show the world how smart she is. When she talks, her voice is loud and bright, like a bell that wants attention. When she walks, her heels click like little drums. She does not hide how proud she is. She also does not hide how she looks down on me. Today is her graduation day. The sun is hot. The sky is clear. I finish my lunch shift at the diner. I do not have time to change my clothes. I wipe my hands, smooth my apron, and rush to the school hall. I want to be on time. I want to clap for my sister. I want to be kind, even if she is not kind to me. The hall is big and bright. The air smells like flowers and perfume. People wear shiny shoes and long dresses. Some men wear suits with sharp ties. Some women wear hats with feathers. People take pictures and laugh. I hold my bag and keep my head down. My shoes squeak. I feel small, like a drop of water in a big bowl. I find a seat in the back row. I sit very still. I hope no one looks at me. I know my blue dress and white apron stand out. I press my hands together and tell my heart to be calm. I look at the stage. I see a long table. I see big plants on each side. I see the school crest, gold and strong. I see the dean, gray and kind. He sits with other professors in black gowns. Then I see Vanessa. She walks across the stage like a queen. Her gown flows. Her cap sits just right. She moves her chin up as if to greet the sky. She smiles that smile that says, "Look at me." People clap. Our parents sit near the front. Mom wipes her eyes. Dad takes a video. I feel happy for them. I feel happy for her too. I really do. The speeches begin. One speaker talks about hard work. Another talks about goals. The dean talks about the future. My hands relax. This is a good day, I tell myself. I will clap. I will go home. I will go back to the diner for the evening shift. I will be fine. Then Vanessa stands and steps to the microphone. She looks so sure of herself. The crowd gets quiet. She thanks the school. She thanks the teachers. She thanks our parents. Then she lifts her eyes and finds me in the back row. I feel the moment like a cold finger on my neck. She sees me. She always sees me. "Thank you to my little sister, Natalie," she says. Her smile is sharp, not sweet. For showing me what not to do in life. A small, mean laugh flickers around the room. I hear a snort. I hear a whisper. I feel my cheeks burn. She keeps going. "No matter where you start," she says, "you don't have to end up taking people's orders forever." Now the laugh grows louder. Some people cover their mouths. Some do not. One voice even says, "Ouch." I sit still. I do not move. I learned how to do that at the diner. When a rude person snaps their fingers at me, I smile and keep my voice soft. When someone throws a napkin on the floor, I bend, pick it up, and keep my heart quiet like a sleeping baby. I do the same now. I straighten my back. I set my face like a calm lake. I look at my hands. I breathe in. I breathe out. It still hurts. It hurts not because she said it. She has said things like that before. She said it when I chose the diner job after high school to help pay bills. She said it when I bought mom's medicine with my tips. She said it when I worked late on holidays. You are wasting your life, she would say. You are playing small. I would answer, I am helping, and she would roll her eyes. But today is worse. Today she said it in front of a crowd. She threw her words like stones, and everyone watched to see where they would land. They landed on me. I look at Mom. She keeps her eyes on the stage. She claps too hard, like clapping can erase the words. Dad's face is tight. He lowers the phone. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for me. And, for one tiny, strange second, I even feel sorry for Vanessa. Because a person who needs to push someone down to feel tall is not truly tall. Not inside. The speech ends. People stand and cheer. Caps fly in the air like blackbirds. Music plays. Cameras flash. I stay seated. My hands shake a little. I put them under my legs to hide the shake. It's okay, I whisper to myself. You are okay. The usher waves for our row to stand. We join the flow of people leaving the hall. I keep to the side. I do not want to bump anyone. I walk slow. The floor shines like water. In the crowd, I hear words float by me like leaves: job offer, promotion, startup, investment, networking. No one says, waitress. No one says, diner. I feel the urge to shrink, like I could fold myself into my pocket. Outside, the sun is bright again. Grads hug each other. Friends shout. Parents cry. A little boy chases bubbles that shine with rainbow light. I stand under a tree by the path and pull in cool shade. The leaves make small moving shadows on my arm. I look at my phone. There is a message from my manager. How did it go? Proud of you for going. I smile. I type, I am fine. Be back for the evening shift. I do not type the rest. A group of grads passes by me. One girl glances at my apron and then looks away fast, like my job is a stain that might spread. My stomach flips. I look down at my shoes. They are clean but old. The front parts are a little flat from all the walking. I press one foot into the ground, steady. I think of the people who know me well. Mr. Lee, who comes in for black coffee and a blueberry muffin at 6 a.m. He calls me Sunrise because I am the first smile he sees each day. Mrs. K, who orders soup and tells me stories about her garden. The school bus driver who brings the route map and laughs when I refill his cup just before he asks. The tired nurse who says, "You remember my favorite, thank you." The kids who share fries and draw cats on napkins. They do not look down on me. They look at me. They see me. I think of why I took the job. I think of long nights, and quiet mornings, and something I have been building step by step, coin by coin, hour by hour. I keep it inside my heart like a candle in a glass jar. Safe. Warm. Growing. I do not tell many people. Not yet. Not until the time is right. A hand touches my arm. I look up. It is Mom. Her eyes are soft and wet. "Are you okay, baby?" she asks. "I'm okay," I say. My voice is steady. I hug her. She smells like lavender and pepper, like she always does at big events. Dad stands a step behind. He clears his throat. "You didn't deserve that," he says. "I'm sorry." "I know," I say. And I do. I really do. Then Vanessa appears. She walks up, still in her gown, still glowing with pride. She tilts her head. Her smile is small but not sorry. "You made it," she says. "In your work clothes." She taps the edge of my apron with one finger. The touch is light, but the meaning is heavy. I could say many things. I could say, your words hurt me. I could say, I am more than this apron. I could say, you do not know my plans. But I do not. Not yet. I just look at her and nod. Congratulations, I say. I mean it. She frowns, confused that I'm not fighting. She likes fights. She can win fights. Vanessa, Mom says, her voice firm. Enough. Vanessa lifts her chin. I was only being honest, she says. Truth is truth. She turns to pose for another photo with friends. The sun makes a bright line on the edge of her cap. A breeze lifts the corner of my apron. I press it down. 5 minutes later, the hall doors open again. People start to drift back inside. The dean has called everyone for one last note. Before we end, someone says on the loudspeaker, we have a special announcement. Heads turn. Feet move. Voices hush. I look at my phone. A new message has arrived. My heart skips once, like a small hop. I do not open it yet. I slip the phone back into my pocket. I take a breath. I step into the crowd, moving with the river of people, back toward the stage, where the dean stands waiting with a sealed envelope and a bright, careful smile. The hall feels different when I step back in. The earlier laughter, the clapping, the noise, it's softer now, like someone turned the volume down. People talk in low voices. The dean stands on stage, holding a white envelope with a gold seal. It glitters under the bright lights. I find my seat at the back again. I'm not here to be noticed. But inside, my chest is not calm. The message on my phone still sits in my pocket, heavy as a stone. I haven't read it, but I think I know what it is about. The dean clears his throat. Before we officially close today's ceremony, he says, we have one more recognition to make. This is for someone who has shown extraordinary resilience, kindness, and quiet determination, someone who has made an impact far beyond this campus. I glance around. Heads are turning. People are curious. My eyes flick to Vanessa. She looks interested, but in a casual way, like she's only half listening. She probably thinks it's for one of her classmates who got a big job offer. The dean continues, this year, an anonymous sponsor asked our faculty to look beyond grades and degrees, to find someone whose life work shows real character and community spirit. That sponsor has chosen to give a grant, and a special award, to this person. I look down at my hands. I know it's not me. Why would it be me? I'm not even a student here. I start to think about my evening shift, what orders I'll take, whether I'll have time to prep the pies before the rush. But then, the dean smiles in my direction. The recipient of this year's Community Impact Recognition is, he pauses, scanning the room. Miss Natalie Brooks. I freeze. For a second, I think I heard wrong. People twist in their seats to look at me. My apron feels like it just gotten times heavier. Vanessa's head snaps back so fast I hear her cap tassel swish. Please come forward, Miss Brooks, the dean says warmly. I stand, legs wooden. The aisle feels longer than the road home. I walk past strangers, past parents, past my own family. I can feel the eyes on me, the whisper starting. Isn't she the waitress? Why her? When I reach the stage, the dean shakes my hand. His palm is warm. Congratulations, he says quietly. You've touched more lives than you know. He hands me the envelope. It's thick. My fingers curl around it like it's something fragile. The crowd claps politely. Vanessa claps too, but slow, her face tight with confusion. The dean leans toward the microphone. For those who don't know, Miss Brooks has been working tirelessly for years, not only at her job, but also in her community. Through her small diner wages, she has been funding a program that feeds underprivileged children in our town every weekend. She has partnered with local farmers, she has set up a reading corner for kids, and she has even organized free breakfast days for schoolchildren during exam periods. Gasps ripple through the room. I hear someone in the crowd say, "That's her. I thought she was just a waitress." The dean continues, "Her kindness, discipline, and humility are examples for all of us. Today, we are awarding her a community grant of $50,000 to expand her project." The applause is louder now, real applause. My throat feels tight. I say a quiet thank you and step down. I don't make a long speech. I'm not here to impress. I'm here to keep building what I started. When I return to my seat, I pass by Vanessa. She doesn't look at me. Her eyes are fixed on the stage, but I can see the way her jaw moves, like she's chewing on something bitter. Later, outside the hall, the air feels cooler. People come up to shake my hand, to say, "Well done," and "That's amazing." Some ask how I started. I give short answers. I don't want this to be about me, it's about the kids. Mom hugs me so tightly I can barely breathe. "I had no idea, Natalie," she whispers. "You never told us." Dad smiles, eyes bright. "I'm proud of you, kiddo." Vanessa stands a little away from us, scrolling on her phone. She's not smiling. She's not talking. I could leave it there. I could go back to the diner and let her keep her silence. But something in me says no, not today. It was 3 years ago. I had just turned 22. I was working the early morning shift when I saw a boy outside the diner window. He was maybe 8 years old, wearing a shirt that was too big and shoes that had holes. He pressed his face to the glass, staring at the pancakes on someone's plate. When I went outside with the trash, he was still there. I asked if he was hungry. He nodded. I brought him in and gave him a plate of pancakes and a glass of milk. He ate like he hadn't eaten in days. That moment lit a spark in me. I started putting a little bit of my tip money aside every day. On weekends, I made sandwiches and gave them to kids I saw hanging around the bus stop. Soon, I learned there were many children in our town who went hungry. Some had parents who were struggling. Some had no one at all. So, I kept going. I partnered with a local farmer who gave me leftover produce. I convinced the diner owner to let me use the kitchen early on Sunday mornings. A few friends volunteered to help. We started feeding kids every Saturday and Sunday. I didn't tell Vanessa. I didn't tell most people. I didn't need praise. I just needed to keep going. Back in the present, I stand under the shade of a tree, holding the envelope. Vanessa finally walks over. Her voice is careful. "Why didn't you say anything?" I look at her. Because it wasn't about me. She crosses her arms. "You made me look bad today." I laugh softly, not unkindly. "No, Vanessa. You did that all by yourself." Her lips press into a thin line. She doesn't have an answer. My phone buzzes. It's the message I didn't open earlier. I finally check it. It's from a journalist. "Hi Natalie, we'd like to feature your weekend food program in next month's community magazine. Are you available for an interview?" I smile. Not because of the magazine. But because, for the first time, I realize, people are finally seeing what I've been building all along. And this is only the beginning. The afternoon sun was sinking low when I left the campus. The light was golden, spilling across the streets like warm honey. I could have gone straight back to the diner for my evening shift, but something told me today was different. I still had the thick white envelope in my bag. It felt heavier than just paper and ink. Inside was the grant, $50,000 to grow my weekend food program. The thought made my heart race, not from greed, but from the possibilities. I could buy more supplies, help more kids, maybe even set up a small permanent space instead of borrowing the diner kitchen at odd hours. I walked toward the small community center where I'd been invited to speak. The invitation came a week ago from a youth group I'd once helped. They didn't know it, but their timing couldn't have been more perfect. It was scheduled for the same day as Vanessa's graduation. I hadn't planned to bring her. I assumed she wouldn't care. But now, something in me wanted her to see. When I got to the center, the place was buzzing. Kids I'd known for years were there, laughing and playing. Volunteers were setting up chairs. On a long table sat baskets of fresh bread, fruit, and cartons of milk, donations from local shops. A tall woman in a bright yellow dress spotted me. "Natalie," she said, hugging me. "We've been waiting for you. You ready?" I nodded, smiling, though my stomach felt like it was holding a basket of fluttering birds. I took out my phone and typed a quick message to Vanessa. "Community Center, Main Street. Come if you want to see what I really do after work." I didn't expect her to reply. I didn't expect her to come. But at least I had given her the choice. The event began. People gathered in folding chairs. The room smelled faintly of bread and soap. A little boy I'd once fed on a rainy morning ran up to me and slipped his small hand into mine. "Thank you for the sandwiches," he whispered shyly. I couldn't speak for a moment. My chest felt tight. The woman in yellow took the microphone. She told the crowd how my weekend food program started, how it grew, how it had fed hundreds of children over the years. She spoke about the reading corner I'd set up with donated books, the exam week breakfast that helped kids focus, the volunteers I trained. "Today," she said, "we celebrate not just what Natalie has done, but what she will continue to do. With her new grant, we'll be able to expand our work, and none of this would have happened without her quiet dedication." Applause filled the room. My cheeks were warm, but not from shame, this time it was pride. Halfway through the speeches, the door opened. Vanessa walked in. She wasn't in her gown anymore, just crisp white blouse and navy trousers, but she still carried herself like someone used to being the most important person in the room. For a second, she stood in the doorway, scanning the faces. Then her eyes found mine. I held her gaze. Slowly, she walked forward and took an empty seat in the front row. Her face was unreadable. When it was my turn to speak, I stepped up to the microphone. My hands were steady now. "I'm not great with speeches," I began. "I spend most of my days taking orders for tea and pie, so I'm used to listening more than talking. But I've learned something important over the years. People think they can sum you up in one glance. They see your clothes, your job, your house, and they think they know your whole story. But they don't. Not unless you let them." I paused, letting the words sink in. "I'm proud to be a waitress," I continued. "It taught me how to listen, how to be patient, and how to notice when someone needs help without asking. That's how this food program started, just noticing. And once you notice, you can't ignore it. You do something, even if it's small. Especially if it's small. Because small things, done every day, can grow into something bigger than you ever imagined." The room was silent. I looked at the faces, mothers, fathers, children, shop owners, students. And then I looked at Vanessa. She was leaning forward, elbows on her knees, her eyes softer than I'd ever seen them. When the applause came, it was loud and long. Kids ran up to hug me. Volunteers shook my hand. Someone pressed a bouquet of flowers into my arms. As people began to leave, Vanessa stayed seated. I walked over to her. She stood, looking at me for a moment before speaking. "I didn't know," she said quietly, "about any of this." "I didn't expect you to," I replied. "I never told you." Her eyes dropped to the floor. "I was awful today. At the graduation. I thought, she stopped, then sighed. I thought your life was small. I didn't realize it was bigger than mine in some ways. I smiled, but not in triumph. There was no need to win. It's not a competition, Vanessa. We just chose different roads. She nodded slowly. I'm sorry. I believed her. That night, as I walked home under the streetlights, my phone buzzed again. It was Vanessa. She'd sent me a photo she'd taken at the center, me surrounded by kids, laughing, holding their hands. Her message said, "Proud of you, little sister." I stopped under a lamppost, letting the glow wash over me. For years, I'd been the shadow beside her spotlight. But maybe it wasn't about shadows and lights at all. Maybe it was about each of us finding where we were meant to shine. And for me, that place was right here, in my town, in my apron, in my work, building something that mattered. Because sometimes, the life people mock is the very life that changes the world. Moral lesson of the story. 1. Never judge by appearances. A person's uniform, job title, or outward lifestyle does not define their worth or potential. Many people live quietly, making a huge difference in the world without seeking attention. 2. Humility speaks louder than pride. Vanessa believed success was about titles and prestige, but Natalie's quiet service proved that character, kindness, and selflessness leave a deeper mark than public achievements. 3. Small acts can create big change. Natalie's weekend food program started with a single meal for one hungry child. That small act grew into something that impacted hundreds of lives, showing that greatness often begins in humble moments. 4. Kindness outshines mockery. Responding to cruelty with dignity not only preserves self-respect but can inspire others to reflect and change, just as Vanessa eventually did. 5. True success is measured by impact, not status. Money, degrees, and positions fade, but the lives we touch remain our real legacy. Final message to viewers. The world will always have people who measure you by your clothes, your job, or your title. But your real worth is measured by the lives you touch, the kindness you give, and the change you create, quietly or loudly. Remember, success is not what you have, it's what you give.